They just think, well, let's just go and have sex with everything that walks because you might as well eat, drink, and be merry, right? So they all get HIV. But they're not worried about it because the HIV is not going to take them out because it takes too long for the HIV to start taking them out, right? So the same thing is perpetuated with like steroids. I think to myself, if you're like 85, 90 years old, but with steroids, it makes a little bit more sense, right? Because like, think about it. Like this person's 80, 85, 90. They're skinny. They feel weak. They feel feeble. They're having a hard time walking around. Like their muscle mass isn't helping them. Why would they not just go ahead and take like a Schwarzenegger dose level of roids, right? Because one, just really think about it. I'm not telling you that your grandpa should go take steroids or anything, but I'm just saying, like, really think about it theoretically. If it takes 15 years for the steroids to catch up with them, they don't have to worry about that. They're probably, in their head, they're not going to be here in 15 years, right? And they won't have to worry. They'll grow like 150 pounds of muscle. They won't have to worry about being abused in nursing homes. You know what I mean? They won't have to be a feeble person anymore. They don't have to worry around the streets worrying that somebody decides to punch them and steal their purse just because for whatever. Because they'll be as strong as a bull. So they get to live the rest of their life not feeble, stronger than they've ever been, and never have to deal with the consequences. You know what I mean? So it's interesting thought. I never really thought about it until I saw like this old guy who's like 80 years old. I saw this one guy who's like 80 years old and he was actually doing that. Like he was on steroids. He was on roids. And he was huge. Like he looked like he was not too far off from becoming the next Arnold. And he was like 85. And I was like, you've been taking roids your whole life? And then he's like, no, he said he was not taking roids his whole life. He just started, he was like in his 60s or something. And then I started to think to myself, now what if he started when he was like 80? Because he's like 85. Like he would never have to worry about it. I don't know. It's just something that popped into my head. Pretty interesting. I mean, yeah, pretty interesting. I don't know. If you're not worried about HIV, why would you be worried about steroids? The only difference is that the steroids are actually going to probably improve you in your time where you probably feel like you're at your weakest, right? Yeah. And, yeah, well, whatever. But, well, that's a really expensive habit. Yeah. Well, so is plastic surgery, but you guys don't have a problem with that one. All these people on plastic surgery, for the love of God, please, women, will you stop getting plastic surgery? Please stop getting plastic surgery. Please stop botching your noses up and turning your faces into plastic silicone faces. Stop it. Stop it. We don't want lips that are so big they look like that they just came off of the back of a pucker fish, okay? We don't want that. We don't want cheekbones that look like they're made out of neuroplastines or whatever they're made out of. We don't want that. We don't want it. It's disgusting. You look ugly. You're horrible. I have never once, it's just like that song, LA girls all look the same, and I feel this so heavily and so hardly and so deeply. And anybody at all that's ever been anywhere around that world or those people understand exactly what. LA girls all look the same. I can recognize. Same work done on their face. I don't criticize. She a cold-hearted with no shame, but her throat's too far. She got chrome hearts hanging from her neck, and that is going wild. She gon' ride, till sweat drops down her spine. She's all mine for the night, until he calls her line. Yeah, I feel that, bro. I feel that so deeply because it's so true. LA girls all look the same. I can't recognize. Same work done on their face. I don't criticize. And the reason why you don't is because you don't feel like getting into an argument for 20 minutes with these crazy women. I feel that so deeply. We don't want the silicone faces. We don't want them. You don't look better. I guarantee you, I promise you, okay? I promise you. And you have your own eyes. So it's not like you don't see it. It's not like you don't notice. It's not like you ever look at somebody with plastic surgery yourself personally and think, wow, that person looks way better after that happened, right? That never goes through your head. Doesn't go through yours, doesn't go through ours, doesn't go through anybody's. And you are not the exception that's going to change it. It's not going to not work for everybody else, but then for some reason you look better after you got it, okay? You have body dysmorphia. You need to chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself. I could just kill a man. You need to check yourself before you need to chickadee check yourself before you need to chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself. I could just kill a man. That's what you need to do. You need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. I could just kill a man. You're just going to kill a woman. You're going to kill yourself. Okay, that's what it is. You're crazy. You have body dysmorphia. Okay. You need to be professionally treated. I don't know how that treatment looks. I don't know what they do for that. You need help. Okay. You have body dysmorphia. I saw this page the other day where they took a bunch of women. They took a bunch of girls. And they asked them, and I'll probably try to go find that video or something, share. It's really interesting. They took a bunch of women, like young, I say women, girls, whatever. You know, they're like all in their 20s. And they showed them, they asked them all. There was like 20 different women. And they asked them all, what do you want to look like? Show us. And they showed them like pictures of all these models from like super skinny to plus size and everywhere in between. And they said, out of all of these women, and they pointed to each one individually, which of these women would you want to look like? Would you prefer to look like? Which one of these bodies do you want your body to have? Do you want your body to be? And all the women picked whatever it was. And afterwards, they came up to them and they showed them, honey, that is the exact same body measurements that you have right now. And it was literally the exact same. And it was every single one of them. How strange is that? Every last one of them. Not one of them picked a couple inches lower, a couple inches higher. Every one of them picked, so strange, so weird, really. It's very strange. The exact same waist and body and breast and thigh measurement as their own personal body. They're saying, listen, lady, that's body dysmorphia. You have such body dysmorphia that when you look inside the mirror, you don't realize that you're actually looking. Okay? You're actually, when you're looking at these magazine model girls and you look inside the mirror, you are actually looking at the exact same body measurement type, and you have no idea. That's body dysmorphia. If you wanted to look like these women, then you stay exactly the way you are right now. That's crazy, right? That's called body dysmorphia. Real, actual mental disorder. That's plastic surgery people. All you plastic surgery people out there, we know the truth. You got body dysmorphia. You can't hide it. You can't lie to us. Nobody thinks anything different. When we see you come in with the plastic surgery, we see you changed yourself. We did not think, wow, they look so much better. What we did think was that, wow, they were all struggling with insecurity and deeply rooted body dysmorphia, and we had no idea. That's what we actually think. That's what actually goes through our head. We think, wow, they had a pretty face and now it's uglier. They got worse, and it's a shining example to the whole world that they were filled with crippling insecurity and body dysmorphia. Like, that's exactly what we think. Those people have mental disorders. That's what we think. It's like, you think, like, this ugly guy over here, you know, he has literally crippling insecurity and crippling insecurity and body dysmorphia on top of the fact that he's ugly, right? Like, that's what we think. Honestly, it's crazy. And like all these celebrities that's happening to, like Like Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande. I love you, Ariana. I've always loved you, Ariana. I've always loved you, Ariana. I love you. And not just because you're the sexiest thing walking around on 2 feet, or at least you were at one point in time, right? I would watch Victorious as a young child. And I would say to myself, man, and I love you too, Victoria Justice. But I remember as a young child, I would say, Kat Valentine is so sexy. And why do they act like she's so stupid? I feel bad for her that she always plays this dumb person when she's so attractive. And then when I saw the fact that when I saw that episode where they had them sing in like a talent show or whatever it was, and then I heard her voice and I was like, oh my God, like what the heck is going on right now? And I thought that she was lip syncing. I thought that was lip syncing at first. Anyone that goes back and watches it, I'm sure they feel the same way. You remember that when we was children, it was crazy. Thought it was lip syncing, and then she kept going, and then her like jaw was quivering when she was singing. I was like, oh my God. Like, this woman is really singing that. She's a freaking genius. She has the voice of an angel. Like, how do you sound like that and look like that and you still are not the star? What does that mean? That doesn't make any sense, right? That doesn't make any sense. Some people look really good, but they sound like crap. And some people sound really good, but they look like crap. But if you look good and sound good, how are you not the star of the show? How are you not the one that's in charge? Like, no offense to Victoria Justice. Victoria Justice is a beautiful woman in her own right? She really is. She is a gorgeous woman. But she's also, she's not a bad singer. She's not a bad singer. She's a good singer. She's not a bad actress.